Hello, hello. This episode is packed with so much fun. I am so excited to be here with you for episode 155. Today we are continuing our love journey. We will be diving into card number 2, the Crone, to illuminate some messages, to talk about what it means to you, what it means to me. And we're going to read through the book. We have lots to catch up on. We're going to talk about the Wild Women Festival that I was just at. Oh, it was lovely. And more snacks and apps. Lots of things to talk about today, including from our first card pool, Eros. Oh, all the love, erotica. We talked about going further, going deeper, and we are going to look at Pablo Neruda's Sonnet 11. Stay tuned. Okay. We are back. We are back together for podcast episode 155, Love Journey, the Crone. The Crone is our second card in our 8-card pool that happened on 808, our very first episode of season 8. I'm so excited to be back with you again. You absolutely loved the last episode, Love Notes with Angie. We need to talk. Thank you so much for those of you who reached out and messaged me or saw me in person and told me how much you loved the episode and why you loved it. We had lots of different comments around the episode. And if you did not yet listen to it, it is a must listen. I will definitely link that in the show notes. Episode 154. Whenever Angie and I get together, it is a fun and fabulous time. And you also learn. Angie makes sure of that. She keeps us on track. And we talked about how to just improve and strengthen your love and your relationships. And one of the things that we talked about was marriage or relationship meetings. Sometimes we don't like to think of running our relationship like a business, but it can be helpful. So some of you are like, I need to do that. I need to see my partner more for fun, but also intentionally to talk about things that are sometimes not so fun, like money and all the things serious. And if you do it intentionally and do it on a regular basis, then you're going to have a healthier relationship. That's just it. Spend time with your partner, your relationship will be healthier. And we have the formula for you. So tune into that episode and keep telling us how you love the episodes. Share with us, DM both of us. All of our info is in the show notes for that and in the episode. We love hearing from you. Some of you said, what if you're a dreamer and a dream crusher in your relationship? Some of you said, what if we're both dreamers? Yes. So please always tell us. DM us, message us, email us back when we send you emails about our episodes. Tell us what you love about it and that helps us to bring you more of what you love, right? If you tell us you love it, we bring you more of it and everybody's happy and in love. So that was last episode. And today we're going to get into our second card. Not yet, but I'm showing it to you. The Crone from our Wild Unknown Archetypes card pool that we pulled 8 cards and we are taking them on a love journey throughout season 8 of the podcast for Empowered by Design. Welcome back. If you are here and you're returning, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming back. If not, welcome. You're going to love it. I promise. And so when we did episode 153, which was card number 1, Eros, erotic love, which is just so fitting for this podcast. I am a love and relationship specialist. I love helping you love yourself better and making your relationships with other people stronger, especially your partner, especially that. We all need help with that, right? And so that when I pulled the cards, that I pulled 8 cards and flipped them over one by one, and Eros was our first card. And it was like, oh my gosh, So we go through the card, we look at it together, we make meaning of it. I invite you to make meaning of it for yourself. And then also we read the book, right? Because what the beauty of these cards is that archetypes are concepts, people, places, tools, things that transcend culture, space, time, and have meaning inherent in themselves. And the beauty of pulling cards in a projective kind of way. I'm a psychologist. Let's not forget that we love to use tools to help us get at information that might be floating below the surface of our conscious awareness. Yes, the subconscious. We love it here. And there are many, many ways to access it. Hypnosis. There's lots of research happening and more access to ways to get below the surface level. Your dreams, your daydreams. You know, I love talking about dreams here. My dream from last night popped into my mind, and it reminded me I need to reach out to someone. I need to reach out to two people, by Aunt Mary. Hey, Aunt Mary, if you're listening, and my Gigi. That's what my dream told me. And that's what our dreams can do. They access some subconscious information. And that is what, when you pull cards, whatever kind of deck you pull from, these cards can help you make meaning in your life. I love, love, love helping people go, oh my gosh, that is so, I didn't even think of it that way. Or, oh my gosh, that's so helpful, right? And that just is so much fun for me. So we are going to get to that card today, card number 13, but it is our second card in the card pool, the Crone. And it is also what we're going to do is in the book that we read, which you'll find today, where there is the part that says go deeper. One of the invitations to go deeper was to read Pablo Neruda's Love Sonnet 11. Love Sonnet 11. So I am going to read it for you in English, the translation, and I am not going to be brave enough, I don't think, on this episode to read it in Spanish because I didn't practice. But I will read it for you in English, the English translation of Pablo Neruda's Love Sonnet 11. Ooh, I need a drink of water. Do you hear that? Like little scratchiness in my throat. I crave your mouth, your voice, your hair. Silent and starving, I prowl through the streets. Bread does not nourish me. Dawn disrupts me. All day I hunt for the liquid measure of your steps. I hunger for your sleek laugh, your hands the color of a savage harvest. Hunger for the pale stones of your fingernails. I want to eat your skin like a whole almond. I want to eat the sunbeam flaring in your lovely body, the sovereign nose of your arrogant face. I want to eat the fleeting shade of your lashes. And I pace around hungry, sniffing the twilight, hunting for you, for your hot heart, like a puma in the barrens of Kitratue. Ooh, a little bit sexy, right? So of course, when we're talking about erotic love, how beautiful is that? How beautiful is that poem? I am going to read it in Spanish because it was written in Spanish, right? And let's see if I can do this. Tengo hambre de tu boca, de tu voz, de tu pelo. Y por las calles voy sin nutrir mi callado. No me sostiene el pan, el alba me desquicia. Busco el sonido líquido de tus pies en el día. Estoy hambriento de tu risa respalada, de tus manos color de furioso granero. Tengo hambre de la pálida piedra de tus uñas. Quiero comer tu piel como una intacta almendra. Quiero comer el rayo quemado en tu hermosura, la nariz soberana del arrogante rostro. Quiero comer la sombra fugaz de tus pestañas. Y hambriento vengo y voy olfateando el crepúsculo, buscando tu corazón caliente, como un puma en la soledad de Quitatue. All right. But like, how fun was that? Ooh, even if you don't know Spanish, right? Like you can just hear the passion, the love in the sonnet, Love Sonnet 11 by Pablo Neruda. So one of my friends, after that episode was published, messaged me and said, oh my gosh, I looked up the Neruda poem. I looked up the other thing. I forget what the other one was called. There was a few different things that you could go read to go further. And she said, it reminded me of the song Howl by Florence and the Machines. So that's another thing that you can go look up. And if you're loving going deeper, diving deeper into these cards to really feel, if you're needing to feel passion, if you're wanting to feel more passion, we have it for you. We have it for you here on the podcast and for resources that you can go and look for more of those. But I'll just read a little bit of the lyrics. It's, if you could only see the beast you've made of me. I held it in, but now it seems you've set it running free. Screaming in the dark, I howl when we're apart. Drag my teeth across your chest to taste your beating heart. My fingers claw your skin, try to tear my way in. You are the moon that breaks the night, for which I have to howl. I love that. So that is Howl by Florence and the Machines, a little bit of it. So you can go check that out or listen to the song. I listened immediately when I got that message from my friend. I immediately listened to the song and yeah, it was amazing. So fun. So fun. Okay. So we went further. We went a little bit deeper into Eros and oh my goodness. Okay. I promised that I would talk to you about the Wild Women Festival. This is a really good story. You're gonna love it. Okay, and it fits with our theme of today, the Crone. This past weekend was the Wild Women Festival, the second annual Wild Women Festival. And last year, I was one of the presenters for a workshop. I did 2 workshops last year. This year, I did 1. There were lots more people, lots more presenters. It was such a beautiful, magnificent, magical day, full of connection with other women. Little girls came, all the ages, from little to big to old, to every age, every generation. And it was just amazing. We sang, we danced, we cried, we hugged, we ate food, we drank lemonade, we did yoga, and I learned about astrology. I met some fun people who are invited on the podcast, learned about money and budgeting. It was just a fun filled day of connection. I invite you to mark your calendars for next August if you are in the area. I mean, even if you're not, it's worth the drive. People drove from all over to attend, and it's worth it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful time of connection. Last year's Wild Women Festival was a life-changing event for me. During one of my very first circle, I'll recap my little story for you. I met a woman named Nikki. And it turned out that during the workshop and during the guided meditation, illumination exercise I was doing, I kept getting this image of purple flowers. And I was like, I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know what it meant. And I just kept pushing it to the side of my brain because I'm like, hey, Liz, you have a workshop to do. Like, you can't pay attention to that right now. And after the workshop, I realized, oh my gosh, that message was for Nikki. It was just a knowing in my body and my soul as I sat down last year after the first circle, and I was like, that was for Nikki. Nikki had shared about her life and about having lost her mother recently. And I just knew. And so I spent I spent the day, like every time I would go to a workshop or go to I was looking for Nikki. I was looking for Nikki everywhere I went. And I did not find Nikki. It came time for my second circle in the afternoon, and I was setting up and getting ready, and Nikki came. So Nikki came back to my second circle, and I was like, oh, Nikki, I have something to share with you. I have something to tell you. And I told her about the purple flowers, and she went, and Nikki told me that after her mother passed away, she had gone to a medium, and a medium had told her, your mom is here. She's loves you. She's sending you love, and she's telling you to look for the purple flowers. Oh, that moment. Every time I think of that moment, and that's when I went, right? Like we both just, I'm getting tingles in my body. We knew we were meant to be connected and find each other and share energy, share love, share the purple flowers. During one of the workshops, I had passed around a bowl. I love to collect treasures wherever I go. I collect stones and flowers and petals and stickers and shells and all jewels, gems, crystals, whatever I collect. And then in that workshop, I passed around and said, take something that will help you remember this day. So I had not seen Nikki since that. And I was going back to this festival, and I was like, I wonder who I'll see. I wonder if I'll see people. So my illumination circle for this year's festival was the very last workshop of the day. And so I had been to lots of different things, and I had actually bumped into a few people from last year, and a couple of them were like, I was at your circle last year. And it was so lovely to hear how it meant something to them. And I had taken one of the activities that I did was had them address an envelope to themselves and write themselves a little message, and mailed it to them later on. And they were like, I loved when I got that card in the mail. It helps us to remember what we were doing and to send that message later on. So at this year's circle, I'm sitting, setting up, everybody's there. We're getting ready to start. It was a couple minutes in, and the festival is outside. So people come and they go to the different workshops, and they, if you there's so much going on it's okay if you're not right on time. There's no one closing the door. There's no one saying like, oh, sorry, you're late, you can't make it. I was like, sometimes, and if you have to leave early, right, it's very fluid and flowy. So I'm getting started with my circle for this year. I'm introducing myself. I'm handing out some of these envelopes that I'm passing around, and I look to my left and I'm like, Nikki? And she was like, oh, you remember me? And I'm like, oh my gosh, how could I forget you? I like ran over to Nikki and I gave her this huge hug, and we just embraced, and I probably cried. I'm crying. Like the emotion is so amazing now. I think that's probably when I turned and I'm like, we cry here. It's one of our slogans. We just go with the energy that comes. And everybody in the circle is looking at Nikki and I like, what's happening here? Right? Like, so we told the story, Nikki and I told the story to this year's circle of what happened last year. And as she's telling, her her part, she pulls out the purple petal that she took from the bowl of treasures last year. She chose a little purple petal that was in the bowl, and she has been carrying it around with her for the last year, reminding her of her mom, reminding her of that day, reminding her of the power of connecting with your people. Oh, that was one of the most magical moments there. And there were many. I ran into Peggy, who, if you've listened before. Peggy is a member of my coaching community with Sean Miner that I only had met virtually. Peggy and I met like in Zoom calls. She was a guest on the podcast. She is a gratitude psychologist, and she learned about the Wild Woman Festival from seeing my stuff and hearing me talk about it. And she decided to come. And so we got to hug in person. She came to the circle. We're going to get coffee soon. We live not too far away, but we're going to meet for coffee in the upcoming weeks or months. And it was beautiful. It was amazing. There's so many wonderful things. And the reason I love to share these things, because what I have learned, and I have lots more to learn in my life, but one thing that I have learned is that sometimes we receive messages, we receive energetic nudges, pings, pushes, images, memories, dreams for ourselves. And sometimes they are for others. I am the vessel that allows something to travel through and deliver it to where it needs to go. And I learned from Nikki on that day to trust, when something comes, and speak it. Speak your truth. Speak your truth. We all have gifts to share, and we learn about them as we use them, as we tune into them, as we tap into our intuition, our energetic, witchy loveliness. We learn and we cultivate and we nurture those gifts, and we share the love and we spread the power and we connect with each other. So, thank you for coming and connecting here with me. I am so, so, so grateful to be in connection with you. We are going to get to the Crone. I invite you to now just take a deep breath. I had a little Ujjayi breathing there. I think that's what it's called. My friend Katie Arnold in yoga teaches me that. Where your breath sounds a little bit like the ocean. Let's do a little energy inventory today, where we check in with ourselves, body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit. Shake out our shoulders. Come to this present moment using our breath, our senses. What do you feel with your body? What is your body resting on? What is the temperature of the room? Notice these things. Notice that when you use your breath, when you tune in, you can direct it to where it needs to go, where energy might be stuck or just needs some TLC. What's happening in your mind? What thoughts, ideas are here with you today? Taking a little drink of coffee. What's in your heart? What emotions, emotional energy are you carrying with you today? Notice. We're just noticing, we're observing, trying not to judge it. And if it serves you, keep it, right? If you are in a place where you are feeling energetically aligned with where you want to be, keep that energy. If you want to move that energy to the side, for now, thoughts that that's me banging the table. thoughts, energy, emotions that might be kind of nagging at your attention and it needs to be put on the shelf for now, go for it. Put it on the shelf for now. It's going to come back. Take that breath and check in with your soul, your identity, that part of you that is you, authentically, genuinely, at your core, your passion, your purpose, your mission here in this life, in this world. And your spirit, that energy that is within us, in our physical bodies, the chakra centers, that connects us with ourselves and with others, right? The energy that you bring with you, that carries with you, that connects us to each other physically, energetically, spiritually, that connects us to the divine, to the universe, to God energy, to spirit. And we are talking about the Crone. Love this. So if you are listening, I will describe this card for you. This is archetype the Crone, Roman numeral 13, so XIII. The card is the center is a black bird, and sitting in the beautiful embrace of a hand. It almost looks like the hand and the bird are united, are one, right? If you see the tail feather there and the wrist. The black bird is in a background of blacks and whites and grays, a cloudy kind of pattern with, if you look closely, what could be little flowers, right? Love to see those little babies. There is a medallion hanging from the hand, a copper medallion with the Star of David. And that is surrounded by beautiful dark indigo, purple, blue, navy to lighter blue colors surrounding that as well. As we go through the card, I invite you to make meaning of these things for you. The word, the Crone. What does that mean for you? What associations come up when you think of the Crone? The Roman numeral 13, does that mean something for you? The image of the hand, the copper medallion, the Star of David, right? We send love to all parts of this world and to all people, especially given the turmoil and fighting in Israel right now. The colors, the beautiful blues and purples. The Crone is the third archetype in the trifecta of femininity, womanhood, the maiden, the mother, the crone. The crone represents this amazing, beautiful wisdom that comes with age and beauty, that comes with the journey traversing through life and having experiences, all of the experiences of life that run the gamut of emotional content, joy and sorrow, pain and pleasure, sadness and elation and anger and passion and jealousy. And at its core, the crone is wisdom. The crone is guidance. The crone is magic. The crone has power and knows her power. There comes a time when we gain wisdom, We transcend the time periods, right? We all as women have elements of the maiden, the mother, the crone in us. No matter what age we are at, no matter what stage of life we are in, we learn to embrace those beautiful aspects of those times, those archetypes of the woman. Whether you are a maiden of age and young and beautiful of spirit, and whether you are a mother of children, a mother of human children, a mother of fur babies, a mother of this earth, a mother of love and of connection, of being with others, giving birth to life in all the different ways that we do that. As we walk through this lifetime and connect with people, we share our beauty, we share our wisdom, we share our magic with each other, and we connect as women. That is something that I reveled in on Sunday at the Wild Women Festival, and heard from other women, we need to do this more. We don't do this enough. And if you're a woman, then life is busy, and life can take us away from those connections. I was doing a card pull just the day before with a woman, and one of the card that she pulled, the meaning that she made from that card was, the first thing that came up was my grandmother. And she said, she has passed away over a year or so ago. And since that time, we have connected less as a family. Our grandmother was that point of connection, that magical, loving spirit that people came to and gathered around. And we haven't done that. And she said, this card is making me, I know what I have to do. I have to gather my family. I have to gather my people together. And so as you are here with me today, listening to my associations to this card, my associations to the crone, I invite you to take the meaning. They can be tiny little slivers, these golden nuggets of like, me too. I need to connect more. I need more connection with my women, my people, whether they're related by blood or by spirit, right? By spirit and love. These messages that you hear today, some of them will be explicit, right? We'll be reading right from the book. We're looking right at the image. And some of them will be tugging at the threads that are lying below the surface of your conscious awareness. Tap into dreams that you are having recently and may have after listening to this episode. Dreams at night, daydreams during the day. They all have meaning. Excuse me. Whew. When I connect with women in person, it's wonderful and beautiful. And we can hold each other. We can hug. We can touch hands. And there's such a powerful healing in the power of touch. I was with a woman over the weekend who suffered a tragic loss, and sitting with her, there was a part of me that felt powerless, like, there's nothing I can do for her. There was just a tragic, heartbreaking time, and I breathed. I breathed as she was trying to catch her breath and sobbing, and I touched her. I put my arm around her. I sat by her. I didn't need to say words. We don't always need to say words. But I was just with her in that energy. and holding it with her so that she didn't have to do it alone. Because that's the beauty. We don't have to do this alone. We never have to do this alone if we find our people and nurture those relationships. And that is part of this journey. That is part of this love journey. Wherever you are today, bring into your mind the face of one of your women and reach out, right? Reach out. You heard me earlier say, ooh, I got to reach out. I had a dream. And sometimes those are the things that happen that remind us, because our days are long. Our days are long and busy. We have responsibilities, family, work, ourselves, our health, our wellness, and we have each other, and we are called to nurture those relationships. So I as I came into this day knowing I was going to be recording this episode, I now laugh that I was wondering why I had the dream that reminded me to touch base and check in with my Aunt Mary and my Gigi, who I don't see often, right? I'm so fortunate that I see my mom often, that I see my mother-in-law often, that I see some of my friends and family members often. And then it reminds me of the ones that I don't see often to reach out and connect with. I'm going to read now from the book. This is the Wild Unknown Archetypes Guidebook by Kim Krans, and I'm reading for us the Crone. The witch, the old woman, the sage. Whew, there is emotion there. Lots of emotion. Just right there, the witch. I have created, and I didn't grab a tissue. What was I thinking? I don't know. I have created a free masterclass called Illuminate, Discover the Witch Wound. I talked about it. Excuse me. Oh, funny that my throat chakra would get a little scratchy, because the witch wound is just that, is a collective wound of women who have whose voices have been shut down, whose messages and powers have been questioned and persecuted, ridiculed, women who have been killed for their gifts, for their intuition, for their spirit. And collectively, we share that energy as women. It is on our genetic makeup through epigenetics. It is in our spirit as a universal connection of feminine energy. And more to come on that masterclass, discovering the witch wound, and more on how we can heal it. I promise it's coming. I'm not sure when yet, but stay tuned. That is the reason to stay tuned here. Ideas come and I create things, and then it's about finding the time for it to come when it is time. I am going to reach for a tissue. Okay. Well, I know why the crone is here in our journey. It's giving me the courage to speak my truth even more than I have already. The crone, the witch, the old woman, the sage. The crone has seen it all. Nothing frightens or surprises her. She is the final manifestation in the feminine trifecta of maiden, mother, crone. Oh, I'm hearing church bells. I don't know if you can hear them, but I can. So we're pausing on that. I love that. The crone. So as I read bit by bit, I will pause. I will read it bit by bit. We will make meaning of it together. I invite you to make meaning of it in your life. What associations come up when you think of the witch, the old woman, the sage? She who has seen it all, nothing frightens her. I want to be her. I want to be her. Because we can get scared, right? We can be afraid to speak our truth. We can be afraid to shine our light. We can be afraid of what someone will think, how someone will feel, and it silences us. And here I am inviting you, as I touch my throat chakra, to let your voice be heard. Let your voice be heard. Howl at the moon, sing with the sun, and allow your voice to be heard. Speak your truth today. In her long life, she has witnessed endless cycles of death, sex, failure, rebirth, conflict, and regeneration, giving her the ability to rise above the world of duality. Wow, let's pause on that. Endless cycles. That is what we are gifted in this life. Cycles of life, cycles of death, cycles of rebirth, sex and rebirth, failure and success, conflict and regeneration. And in that, we are called to rise above the duality, right? When we think of the extremes, the positive, the negative, the good, the bad, and let's find the sweet spot in the middle. Rise above those rigid boundaries of duality. She laughs at notions. She laughs at them, but back to the book, and I'm laughing. She laughs at notions of good or bad, right or wrong, as she has seen the earth churning, smoldering, taking life, and giving life. I have seen all of this. Just in this short little weekend, sitting with someone who had lost the love of her life, and then going to celebrate the same day, that afternoon, celebrating my brother's 40th birthday, and having fun, right? It's having the ability to hold all of these things in one body, in one soul, in one spirit. Sometimes it's overwhelming. And yes, it is. And we got to the party and I'm like, oh my gosh. Whew. And my husband goes, maybe. I'm like, how am I going to have fun here? I just, sat with this grief and sadness and tragedy. And he said, maybe you need to go upstairs and cry a little. And I'm like, you're right, I do. You're right, I do. Like, to be known, to be seen by someone that loves you so much, to know exactly what you need is like, give me a hug, go upstairs and cry, and come back to the party. And I'm like, done. You're right. That's what I needed to do. And we can, because we're designed that way. We are designed to hold all of these things. We, the crones, the witches, the sages, the women, the mothers, the maidens, we are designed with this beautiful complexity. Whew, baby, celebrate that. Celebrate your complexity today. It's overwhelming. Yes. And that's why we cry. That's why we have all these different aspects of release, right? Crying tears and having orgasm and sweating, right? And just having these different ability to build tension and release tension, build tension and release tension. And as I do that, you can do that right now with me. If you're feeling tension, you can make your fists into tight balls. Squeeze them tight and feel that tension. And then release. And feel the contrast. Feel the energy. Ooh, I could feel that in my hands, like beautiful water running down. we have that power, we have that complexity. Back to the book. The crone energy accepts everything in, devouring beauty and suffering with the same mouth, using their energy to reveal hidden secrets and knowledge. Ooh, I love that. I do love that so much. Okay, so I have to say, right? Like secrets can be poison, and I will say that forever. And they can be treasures, right? Sometimes we have to hold a secret for someone. I hold a lot of secrets in my work. At the Wild Woman Festival, I was wearing a shirt that said, "Tell me your secrets." Love it. I'm a secret keeper. And knowledge, to reveal secrets and knowledge. One of the women that I met at this festival, an astrologer, you're going to meet her. Her name's Sierra. I hope she comes on the podcast. She said she would. She looked at my birth chart and she said, "Oh, wow, you have a lot of psychic energy in you." And I was like, "Ooh." She's like mystical and powerful and I want to say lovely. she might have, I don't know, can't remember. But she said, "You are really good at absorbing a lot of information and knowledge and then sharing it, making it understandable to others." And that is what I love to do here. Back to the book. Her energy resides in all of us. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. Though it is feared by most for its power and unconventional relationship with death and the macabre. Her energy resides in all of us. I think part of me wants to pause and attune to that aspect of fear that when we don't know something, we're afraid, right? That is a human tendency. It's a human reaction. And there's an invitation here today to find out more. Don't just make assumptions. Don't just listen to what somebody says and think you know what it means. Ask them. Be curious. Don't talk about them behind their back to someone else and not go to them. Go to that person. In my life, I've had this experience where people don't know what my gifts are. Sometimes I don't know what they are, right? I'm still learning. And it can be scary. It can be scary to hear someone say, yeah, sometimes I get these messages and I just know things out, right? And when you learn to tune in to your intuition, when you meditate on a daily, pause and take time for yourself, you become more aware of your powers. And let's embrace them together, right? Because it can be scary for us even when we don't know what they are. You heard me say last year, I'm like, what is happening? What are these purple flowers? What is happening? And then what I did was shared it. And I received beauty and love and connection with Nikki. And that gave me the courage to do the same with other women. And it was amazing. Since that time, I have learned to take the messages and say, this could be for me, but it could maybe not. So I'm going to share it. And if it means something to you, great. If not, it's okay. Let's embrace our power together. And by doing so, spread awareness and decrease the fear. Let's discover how we can heal that witch wound together. Coming soon. Yeah, I'm just going to keep drinking that water. Okay. The relationship with death and the macabre, yes, that is one of the reasons why it is feared so much. And then when you can sit with death, when you can sit with endings and know that they are part of the cycle, we don't want them, we don't wish them to come, but they are part of this life. And when we allow ourselves to be with them, we become more in tune with the beauty and the joy that can come as well. The last line, and then I'll read the whole thing one more time all the way through. Awakening the crone is dangerously rich and unapologetically magic. I love it so much. I'm awakening my crone. I'm awakening my witch, and I'm inviting you to do it with me. Let's do this thing. Okay. The crone has seen it all. Nothing frightens or surprises her. She is the final manifestation in the feminine trifecta of maiden, mother, crone. In her long life, she's witnessed endless cycles of death, sex, failure, rebirth, conflict, and regeneration, giving her the ability to rise above the world of duality. She laughs at notions of good or bad, right or wrong, as she has seen the earth churning, smoldering, taking life and giving life. The crone energy accepts everything in, devouring beauty and suffering with the same mouth, using their energy to reveal hidden secrets and knowledge. Ooh, I just read that one differently. Okay, I'm going to come back. Her energy resides in all of us, though it is feared by most for its power and unconventional relationship with death and the macabre. Awakening the crone is dangerously rich and unapologetically magic. So I'm going to go back to that line. She devouring beauty and suffering with the same mouth. I read that differently. Ooh, I love that. The crone energy accepts everything in, devouring beauty and suffering with the same mouth. Ooh, I love that. Love that. Love that. Revealing secrets and knowledge in beauty and in suffering. In beauty and in suffering, we gain knowledge, wisdom, power, and knowing. Love it, love it, love it. When you are in line with your passion, your values, your mission, your vision, magic, clairvoyant, psychic, intuitive, and wise. Be in line with your values, your vision, your mission. Be light. When dark, when you are coming from a wounded place, when you are acting or not acting, right? When you are avoiding, when you are ignoring, when you are running, when you are aligning your energy from a place of woundedness, trauma, tragedy, loss. Yes, we've all had it. And we process through it to come to the light of healing and growth. When dark, the crone energy can be vindictive, bitter, isolated, and ostracized, right? Think of it. Think of the witch wound, the witches who were burned at the stake, who were isolated from their people, from their coven, from their women. When women were turned against women to satisfy the man, the power of the man, of the patriarch. Go deeper. Okay, I gotta look at this. Dumavati, Hecate, Baba Yaga, and Lilith I will put those in the show notes with their spellings. I'm flipping the book, reading the side. The crone is the master of letting go and residing in what is. She rejects nothing. The crone is often seen with the crow, that's our blackbird, smoke, night, the moon. Ah, you know I love the moon. Oh, baby, this is amazing. Our second card in our 8-card pool. I love it. And the last little bit before we close. The crone has a difficult time tolerating superficial, petty, day-to-day musings. I have to laugh. When Angie hears that, she's going to be like, Liz, that is you. She moves away from such relationships and seeks a deeper path, even if this means a more solitary life. This card is magic. It is for me, for you, for us together. If you go deeper in one of those, let me know. Let me know what you read, what you find. Message me, email me, DM me on Instagram. Tell me when you see me. I am so thrilled to be with you in this journey. Eros, the crone. Next up is the judge. That will be fun to see what happens there. And stay tuned for some guests on the podcast. I'm so thankful for your loyalty, your love that you share. I invite you to share this episode with someone that you love. And if you have some extra time, I would love for you to rate, review, leave a couple sentences of how you are loving this so that more people are gifted with the receiving of this love and this knowledge and this wisdom and this inspiring message to tap into your wisdom, tap into your witch, tap into your crone, and speak your truth in light and love. I will see you next time. Take care.